video is going to be, as the title suggests, about intermittent fasting. And so it's going to be primarily based off of my experience with it, which is pretty limited. So probably I would say it's around 4 to 5 weeks now of like properly intermittent fasting. So I started it during my most recent cut, which is still ongoing right now, but what I found is that this might be perfect for me. Like, honestly speaking, this could be the perfect way to eat for me. And I'll explain why. Right. The thing is, like, I've always eaten a fucking lot. Like, in middle school, breakfast was a lot of food. Right. At lunchtime, it would be like, okay, I get an entree and then I would go back for more. It's like, okay, it's a lot. And then maybe also eat some friends' food as well. Come back from school, eat another meal, wait like 2 to 3 hours, and then have dinner. It's like, it's a lot, man. Like, I remember one time eating an entire lasagna. Like, I don't remember like how many calories it was. It was like each serving was, I think, like maybe like an eighth of it. Right? So if you think of lasagna, it's a lot of carbs, right? Maybe an eighth is like, let's just estimate like 400 calories. I don't actually remember, but let's just estimate an eighth was 400 calories. Yeah, I ate the entire thing for lunch when I was in like middle school. So yes, I can eat a fucking lot. Alright. Like, I'm the dude who goes to a buffet, eats only vegetables and chicken, or vegetables and proteins, so that I can be filled up faster, so I don't like overconsume calories. And I still eat 4 to 5 plates. Right? It's like, yeah, I eat a fucking lot. Alright, I eat a fucking lot. And so intermittent fasting is perfect for me because I get to feast at lunch. And so how I currently lay things out is that I don't eat breakfast. I go to the gym and then I come back and then I feast. Like, it's amazing. I feast on like 48 ounces of food total for lunch. I think, yeah. 48 ounces, yeah, for lunch. And this is during my cut too. And so this is like, yeah, it's like less. But I fucking feast like a fucking king. Like, so that's one reason why I love intermittent fasting right now. Another is, in the morning I get a clear head. Cognitively wise, I just function better without food. I personally haven't found any like detriments to eating food in the morning. I like when people kept saying that, like, eat food, you get brain fog. It's like, in the morning, that never happened to me. Never did. But one thing was that I didn't need to worry about eating in the morning. I didn't need to use time to eat. And it's like, more time in the morning means more work done. More focus time. And focus time is the currency for any job, really. At least intellectual. And so it allows me to have more time in the morning to study for classes, study for exams, write scripts, work on projects, right? I find that extremely helpful. Because, afternoon-wise, it's like, it's harder for me to focus on something and work on something. And so it's like, the morning is like perfect for any kind of work, right? At least for me. Perfect. And the final thing is, sort of connecting with the lunch feast, is that in general, I can have bigger meals. And I love eating. And so bigger meals are just, it's good. So currently on my cut, I'm eating 2 meals a day. First meal is, like I said, shit ton of food, 48 ounces. Now that I think about it, for most days of the week, dinner is also 48 ounces of food. Yeah. So, 96 ounces of food per day. That's 6 pounds of food total per day. Like I said, I eat a fucking lot, alright? So those are sort of my more personal reasons to do intermittent fasting. And now I'll get into like how intermittent fasting affects different parts of your life. And the first is health-wise. The number one benefit of intermittent fasting is that you'll be healthier. Not because you will lose weight or anything like that, but you'll actually like be physically healthier just due to when you eat. And I didn't believe this at first. Like, I really did not. Like, I just thought that all the benefits from intermittent fasting were just coming from the weight loss that people had, but it wasn't. And it's kind of shocking. Right, so in general, you will live longer, right? Your blood pressure will be better, blood glucose will be better, inflammation will be better, more cell repair. In general, you will be healthier, because intermittent fasting is basically sort of replicating the fasting state. And during the fasting state, a lot of interesting things happen. Your body gets rid of these cells called senescent cells, which are basically just like dead cells floating around that don't do anything and actually can cause damage in your body. And so your body gets rid of them during fasting. Your body heals itself in a way. In general, like, the fasting state is conducive towards healing itself. And through intermittent fasting, it's sort of replicating the fasting state. And that's where pretty much all the health benefits come from, right? So if you were to actually like fast for like 2 days out of the week, I think you'd probably get the same benefits. But like, intermittent fasting for me is, I think, at least for me, I'm not that optimistic that I'm going to survive 2 days of fasting per week, because I just love food. All right, so intermittent fasting just works for me better, and honestly probably works for most people better, right? Now, if you're also like me, you want to get an attractive physique, you want to get some muscles, you want to get some gains, you want to get an aesthetic physique, and you may have heard that fasting limits your muscle gain, or like you lose muscle, right? Like, so what does intermittent fasting do for muscle gains, for muscle building? And so the main fear of intermittent fasting, or fasting in general, of which it causes muscle loss, is due to the myth that you need to constantly be eating to maintain this anabolic state. Because if you're not, you're in a catabolic state. And guess what? Catabolism means breakdown. Breakdown of what? Your muscles. But that's not exactly true. Right? Your body's constantly in a state of anabolism and catabolism. It's creating and destroying at the same time. And so during fasting, yes, your body will be more in a state of breaking things down. Killing off senescent cells in general, not building. Repairing, not building. And it is true that you need to be in an anabolic state to gain muscle, right? But to simply bust the myth, you do not need to constantly eat to maintain an anabolic state to gain muscles. For one, your body builds muscles when you sleep. And when you sleep, are you eating? No, you're not. You are sleeping and you are not eating. You are fasting through the night. Imagine that. Wow. So overall, I would say that intermittent fasting probably doesn't impact your muscle gains, right? Probably doesn't. And if it does, it's probably something minor. Like 5 to 10% of your potential gains, right? And if you are training for life, if you're going to keep on doing this, it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, so many people get tied up on like getting the most optimal, the best results, getting 100% of what I can get. It's like, what's the point? You want to get this faster? For what purpose? Are you going to do this forever? Are you going to go to the gym and train forever until the day you die? And if you are, it's like, it doesn't matter the gains you get right now. It doesn't matter if you maximize all the gains you can get right now, because you'll eventually maximize later. You'll eventually do it. It's not like, you can only get, let's say you only get 90% of the gains right now, and then that 10% is lost forever. Like, you can never get that back. Your gains slow. They slow down as you age, as you keep on training. And it's like, the gains you didn't get right now, you'll get them in the future. It's about delayed gratification. If you are still training for 10 years, you'll get the gains. You'll get them. It's like, if you're only training for like 1 or 2 years, it's like, you're new, you're excited. I get that. But if you're if you're planning on training for a lifetime, it's like, it doesn't matter. I'll get the gains anyway. Personally, I found that people who focus too much on optimizing things are ironically smaller, less muscle than those of us who just like, okay, yeah, it's not the most optimal, but I enjoy it, I like it, and I'm training for life, so why should I care? It's going on to workouts. So from my outline plan, it's like I work out and then I eat my first meal, right? So I work out fasted through everything. And so for the strength part, I found that nothing has changed. You know, it's like strength-wise, the workout is pretty much the same. I have enough energy to go through the strength workout, which, you know, is the most important workout for me of the day. Now, I do cardio afterwards because, you know, one, I like cardio, and two, I'm cutting, so like I'd like to eat more. And I found that cardio is worse. I'm definitely more fatigued than if I wasn't intermittent fasting. Right? I don't have the same spring, the same energy as I once did. And on the one hand, it may be because of intermittent fasting. On the other, it may be because I'm just cutting and I'm fucking tired and I'm fatigued and I don't want to move. Right? So it could be one of those two. But overall, I would say that on your workouts, on your strength workouts, intermittent fasting isn't going to do much. Now, if you're working out for like longer periods of time, if you're going to do cardio afterwards, it may affect that, right? It may. And going on to hunger. Now I'm biased because I'm cutting, and it's like I'm getting down there. It's like, fuck, I'm hungry. Yeah, fuck. And so the thing about hunger is, you get used to when you eat. Your body sort of anticipates when you eat. And so if you get used to intermittent fasting, your body won't be hungry when you aren't eating, and instead it will look forward to when you are eating. Right? The exception is the mornings, except I found that pretty much always in the mornings you're not actually hungry, even though you feel hungry, but you're actually just dehydrated and you want water. It's like you just drink like a liter of water, it's like, okay, I'm good now. It's like, okay, yeah, I just wanted water, right? It wasn't actual hunger. So the hunger aspect is definitely manageable, even if I'm cutting. It's like, this is manageable. This is pretty nice. I like this, you know? Pretty good. I do like this. So to conclude this video, if you're like me, if you eat a shit ton of food, if you like eating food, if you are concerned about your physique, your potential muscular gains, if you're concerned about your workouts, if you're concerned about hunger, I would still say intermittent fasting is worth it. Given the health benefits, given the low impact on your workouts, the low impact on muscle building, the increase in food that you can eat per meal, potentially, like, it's just perfect. It's great. And I'm loving it right now because I'm just dropping the pounds, and it's like, I don't think I've ever been in this much of a deficit before, and it's definitely not as challenging as my past cuts. So it's like, it's easier, and I'm dropping weight faster. It's like, sheesh, bro. Like, bro. Anyway, found that intermittent fasting is something that I'll continue, definitely for my cuts. I'm not entirely sure if I want to do it when I'm not cutting, but, you know, it is tempting right now. It is tempting. So, give it a shot. You know, try intermittent fasting, and I think it will help you as much as it did me.